Hey, Slater Crusaders, how are you? America's the greatest country in the world. Thanks for being here. So I feel like the president's team is going to make their case here really soon. So I just want to do a quick recap of everything we've covered so far, and I want to make this claim here very clear. I have never made a voter fraud claim that the left-wing media has not been making for the last 2 years. All right, I'll say it again. I, on this show, have never made a voter fraud claim that the left-wing media has not been making themselves for the last 2 years. I have been in the darkest depths of the internet, reading and diving into every single election day conspiracy conceivable. On this show, we've never made a voter fraud claim that the left-wing media themselves has not been making for the last 2 years. And suddenly, where did all those concerns go? So we're gonna do a very quick overview here. On Friday, we played a report from 2016 and a podcast interview from September of a Princeton University computer science professor, Dr. Appel, going over all the problems with touchscreen voting systems. He said 7 minutes alone with a computer, 7 minutes alone with one of the computer voting machines with a $4 computer chip can shift votes around from one candidate to another and no one will know. Not me, Princeton University computer science professor. 2019, Wall Street Journal ran an article about how hardware and software for the voting machines comes from Russia and Chinese companies. And the whole article is about how these Russian and Chinese companies could, once again, sabotage the election for Trump. Today, crickets, nothing. I don't hear anything about that. It was Wall Street Journal. Yesterday, we played a video from NBC News, August 12th, 2019. This is a little over a year ago. And the headline was, NBC News gives an inside look into how hackers can target voting systems with ease. Here's a clip.
And yet here these kids were who had opened it up. They said, look, you can pop the front off of it and here's a port you can get into right here. That's easy. You know, all kinds of stuff that you could certainly do within 6 minutes behind a curtain, much less if you had extra time because any of these were connected to the web, as we discovered a couple of days before.
NBC News, PBS NewsHour, 8 days before the election, they did a whole 7-minute segment. Will Georgia's new voting machines solve election problems or make them worse? Here's a clip from that. I think this is the hacker guy in the beginning, and then the next clip that we put together is University of Michigan computer science professor.
They have set up a complicated system which is centralized and doesn't seem to have any safeguards.
By analyzing the structure of the QR codes, I've been able to learn that there's nothing that stops an attacker from just duplicating one. And the duplicate would count the same as the original barcode.
What? And now it's absurd, we're told, to suggest that anything like that could be a problem in the election that just happened. Where's PBS today? 8 days before the election, they're like, hey, everyone, this is a huge, giant problem. After the election, what voter fraud?
Wow, that was deep and insightful. I want more of that.
Like, subscribe, get more.